you? Unlike the kind of homegrown, well, you are homegrown, but the idols such as Ricky Hatton, Frank Bruno. Can I ask you how you feel about that situation?
I mean, you know, I started at a young age and achieved a lot of things. At the age of 17, I went to the Olympic Games. I won the silver medal in the Olympics. When I got back, I mean, it was like I won a gold medal. Everyone had so much love for me, you know, and I think, you know, it just happens when you're on the scene for such a long time. You always, you know, there's going to be people there who want you in fights, and if you don't take them fights or them fights don't get made, and it might not be my fault. It's a business win, yeah. It might not be my fault, but most of the fights that they want, you know, don't get made. So that's when they start, you know, hating. Or obviously, one thing, you know, I want to say is when you do get hate and stuff, it's only because you must be doing something right, I believe. Because otherwise, why do they want to talk about you, or why do they want to hate you? But I mean, it's really hard to be an individual. I mean, if I was, it's different in football because you've got a team, so you all share the hate. But I'm an individual, so it's on me, you know. And when I get hurt in a fight, if I get hit in a fight, I got no one to blame. I blame myself. But it's the toughest sport to be in. Boxing is the toughest sport in the world because you're on your own there, and you can't blame anyone but yourself. So I mean, I think people should appreciate that really, you know, instead of hating or, you know, getting upset with you.
Sensible question. I have to say, I don't understand it myself personally, because I think you've never had a dog fight. You're very exciting, you know, charismatic. Nobody can accuse you ever of not being a gutsy warrior when the chips are down, despite 3 losses. So I don't really understand it. Spencer.
Before I start, can everyone who's turned out for Amir Khan, can you give yourself a round of applause, please? Because I mean, you've come out. Come out. That's really cool. Amir Khan, I've known this little man for a good few while, man. Yeah, since you turned professional. Yeah, early days. And the question that I'd like to ask you is, like, you do a lot of charity work, and everyone will talk about your fights and everything else, but it's not highlighted because you kind of like you're kind of doing it undercover. Right, but I want to know, like, what kind of charity work do you do?
I do a lot of charity work, you know. Just recently, I went to Pakistan with what happened over there. Over 130 children were killed in a school in Peshawar. So I went to go there to show my respects. And I know it was a very dangerous, volatile place. And people, I was getting phone calls from, like, you know, from people in the UK, the government, saying, look, we don't advise you to go there. It's very dangerous. And I said, look, these people need me. I want to go there, and I don't want to go there because I want to, you know, want people to say, oh yeah, you went there and whatever. I want to go there from my own heart, you know, to make a difference and build that awareness. And look what's happened in Pakistan. So when I went there, you know, luckily I had the army who set everything up for me. I went there, did my prayers, and met a couple of the families of children who were killed, and it was just very sad to hear, you know. And then, you know, when I was in the school. I'm sorry if there's any children here, but you don't mind, I want to know. But I mean, there was like bullet holes in the floor. There was like blood stains on the wall and on the floor and stuff. And it was just very sad to see that. And you know, being a fighter, it even brought a tear to my eye. Yeah, and you know, this only motivates me to do more charity work and to stop things like this happening in the world. And not only that, I mean, I do a lot of work. I've just started my own Amir Khan Foundation.
Have you got a gym? I heard that you're starting up a gymnasium here.
Yeah, starting gymnasiums up in Pakistan as well, the Amir Khan Academy, and the government want to help me there, the army want to do something with me as well. And it's all about, you know, giving individuals and giving kids a chance, giving them, you know, an opportunity. And one thing about a third world country like Pakistan, you don't have those opportunities, so I'm willing to go there and provide that opportunity for them and send the gym, you know, set the gyms up and also send trainers to go to Pakistan, and hopefully we can, who knows, I really believe that, you know, we, us as Pakistanis, you know, I think we are fighters. And the thing is, we just don't have that support, and we don't have the, you know, the equipment or the structure to, you know, to make champions. We need the equipment there, we need the gymnasiums, and if we have the infrastructure there, we definitely, there'll be more world champions and more boxers, you know, being Pakistani, but we don't have that, so that's why I want to jump in there and I want to make a massive difference.
I think that's commendable, my friend.
I was
well done, man. That's really cool. That's really cool. That's really cool.
And not only that, you know, I mean, I started this off, the reason I wanted to do this is because I started off in England, in Bolton. I'm from Bolton, and I started off in Bolton. I built an academy for the kids, you know, for the less fortunate kids and stuff to come to the gym. And when I was speaking to the kids around the area, they had no computers, they had no homework clubs or anything. So I wanted to get them off the streets instead of them getting into trouble with the police. I got them into the gym. I bought like 20 computers for them, so they can do the homework. They got internet, they can surf the internet and stuff. They can do revision classes, and then they can, you know, they can go in the gym, do some boxing training sessions if they wanted. So you can't forget your roots as well. I'm from England, I'm from Bolton. So you can't forget your local areas. You have to support your community, and that was the first thing I did, was to support my community.
Yeah. Well done. Well done.
So, after turning professional, having avenged your Olympic final reversal versus Kinderline in that rather unique Bolton-held international club show promoted by Frank Warren, you streaked to a bunch of wins. There was an exciting situation against Willie Lamont. Now, your first reversal came, as we know, against Brady's Prescott. I always regarded it as a bizarre match to have made, not because, principally because there was very little to gain had you beaten him, I felt, and they just said he had an inflated record, he was an unknown Colombian, and as we know, something went wrong that night. At one point, there may have been an angle for a revenge fight. As it happened, you ascended to an elite level fight boxer, and he faltered at elite level, and the match would not have made any sense any time in the last 5 years. It was dead. Is there any sense of personal regret as a fighter that he didn't put himself in a position to give you an opportunity to avenge that loss?
I wanted that rematch against Prescott. He was the first guy to beat me, you know, I mean, knocked me out in the fight, and it was something I needed at that time, you know, when I...
So easily, well.
Yeah, I mean, I was, you know, when from the first fight till it was 18th fight, but from the first to the 17th, I was winning the fights, I was knocking everyone out, I was like, I felt the best fighter in the world, no one can touch me, I'm touching distance away from a world title, and then when that happened, it was like a wake-up call. In a way, I'm glad it happened.
See, it didn't seem to have any negative impact on your psyche at all.
No, I mean, I didn't let it get to me, but it seemed to me that I was making the mistakes I should have made, and you know, I need to sort myself out and get more serious. If I want to become the fighter and the champion I want to be one day, I have to get more serious. So, in a way, it was a blessing that fight happened. I got beat that fight, but then we tried to get a rematch a few times, we just couldn't get it made. And then I moved up to welterweight, and he's also moved. I heard of one time he moved up to welterweight, but you just can't get that fight now.
You went for it.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, still as a fighter, you want a rematch. Like even.
Would you still love to take it tomorrow?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I'm a young fighter. You know, I'm one of them guys that I want to fight. And the guys who beat me just to set the record straight. I mean, that's one thing I did in the amateurs. The guys who beat me in the amateurs, I fought them all, and I beat them all back.
Bobby Ward from Repton?
Yeah, I fought Bobby as well. Yeah, Bobby Ward. Yeah, I fought him. He was a good kid. He was. We fought twice. He beat me once. I beat him once. So Bobby was a very good fighter.
What's up?
We've got a couple young amateurs and professional fighters inside the audience. There's a kid just there, Yassin Al-Mashi, you know Yassin, right? Very good fighter. He won prize fighter, what was that, about 3 years ago now. He's looking to make a comeback. What advice would you give to Yassin? Because he's studiously avoided, and he wants to get back into the swing of things. What advice would you have to give to that young man?
I mean, there's a lot of fighters in Great Britain who got avoided. I think Yassin's one of them. You know, he's got a lot of talent, he's got bags of energy, and a lot of people don't want to face him because he's dangerous. And, you know, so I think for Yassin, just keep training hard, you're making your comeback. But how long have you been out for? A couple of years, man, you come back strong, bro. You can see it's in your blood, bro, you know, to fight. So it's all about staying focused and just keeping busy, you know. It may take time after you know, because you've taken such a long time off. When you come back in any sport, it's going to take time. You know, you can be rusty and stuff, but once you get going, but you'll be back to normal. I mean, it's that muscle memory. You know, you'll be fine, bro. But yeah, one guy to look out for, guys. I mean, Yassin's a good champion, and I've been watching him and supporting him in a long time.
So we alluded to the fact that you were rebounded so quickly and successfully from the Prescott setback. As I recall, you fought Oshie Fagan, and then You came back, I believe it was the next fight, maybe wrong, when you won your first world title, WBA Light Welterweight Championship against Andreas Catoni.
Catoni, yeah.
Now obviously there's an element of Frank Warren keeping the faith in you and helping you alongside your own efforts to put it behind you as quick as possible and get to that mentor. I believe it was after the Kotelnik fight you decided to sign with Golden Boy.
Yeah.
And I heard some people, you know, people talk a lot, fan forums, boxing newsletters, saying that I should have stayed loyal to Frank because it was Frank that brought him back. I certainly don't believe that myself, but I'd like you to respond to the suggestion.
Yeah, Frank Warren was my promoter. He was my promoter as soon as I signed professional. He looked after me, signed I probably signed the biggest deal in boxing. Before even having a fight, you know, I was a millionaire. Before even having my first fight, before the first pro fight, I was very fortunate to be in that position. And yeah, you know, one thing I used to tell Frank Warren was, I want to fight in America. I want to fight in America. He promised me to fight in America, and that never happened. So you know, I just waited and waited, and then as soon as my contract finished, it was after I got beat by Prescott. I had to. I did a fight against, after Prescott it was Fagan, after Fagan I fought
Barrera.
Yeah, Barrera, and then I fought Kotelnik after that fight.
Indeed.
So I went up to 140 and fought Kotelnik, won the world title, my contract was done with Frank Warren. So I was a free agent. But what I did do, I gave Frank Warren one extra fight, just just in a way saying thank you for getting me this far. So I gave him the fight against the kid from New York, I fought.
Manaji.
No.
Demetrius Salita.
Salita.
I sparred him. Yeah, I sparred him. I was a bit disappointed because I used to brag about it. After you blitzed him in like about 80 seconds, I then stopped talking about it.
No.
So you did me down a bit there, really.
No, Salita was a good fighter. You know, he was unbeaten and undefeated there as well. And so when I had that fight, my dream was always to go to America and fight over there. I mean, I was watching all the big fights like Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali and Sugar Leonard and all the top guys, and I used to be like, I want to one day fight in Las Vegas, I want to one day fight in New York at the Madison Square Garden. So when I said to Frank Warren I want to do that, he kind of denied it. But the only way for me to do that was not to sign with a UK promoter, to sign with a USA promotion team. So that's the reason I went to America, and I signed up with Golden Boy. So I was a Golden Boy fighter, and a lot of people saying to me, you know what, you're going to get ripped apart, you're not good enough. People in America, they're a different animal. And I was like, I'm going to take that risk. I mean, if I want to be the best in the world, you have to take risks in life. So I went to America, and I fought against Paulie Malignaggi, who was a former world champion.
I sparred him too.
Yeah, he's back in.
Yeah.
Bro.
What disturbs me is the way you dealt with it compared to what I did. It forced me to accept that you must be better than me.
No, you're a good fight anytime, bro. But yeah, I fought Malignaggi in New York, and honestly, it was a dream fight for me. I remember when I was walking the streets in New York and I could see my picture on billboards. I was like, wow. I mean, amazing, isn't it, when you see a picture on the billboard? You're like, wow, that's me. I mean, I was like, wow. And then I was in a subway and there's a picture of me there. And then they want me to, you know, use the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, the shares. So they want me to press the bell for that in the morning, which was massive. I mean, I don't play shares, but I mean, so I did that, and supposedly that's supposed to be massive. And then it took me right on top of the, what's that building called? Empire State Building, yeah. Took me right on top of there. And I mean, took pictures and stuff, and it was, you know, it's something that I'll always remember because it was my first fight, and it was just an amazing feeling, and that whole, you know, when you get all the media behind you, and I mean, when you do a big fight in America, they do it big. I mean, fighting wise, and the boxing shows are so much bigger. There's so much going on. There's like, you look in the crowd, and you'll see people like Rihanna, Beyonce sat there, Jay-Z sat there. You're like, wow, you know, you walk into the boxing ring and you see them. And
they're watching you.
They're watching me. I'm like, wow, this guy's watching me fight. Yeah. So I'm in a very lucky and a very fortunate position to be in, you know, where I get people like the big high-profile people watching me and supporting me.
That's it.
Francis ran out of questions, I think.
You just look a bit too quizzical.
Don't be too much.
Yeah, you're making me fall asleep, man. No, I'm joking. Why don't you guys shut up? Now, Alan, when you went off to America, you went with Freddie Roach. Do you think, even though Freddie Roach was a respected trainer, do you think that he was actually at that time the wrong trainer for you?
No. I think Freddie was an amazing trainer at the time. I mean, when I went to America, I needed him, and what he did for me was amazing. Honestly, I believe he's still one of the best trainers in the world. Look what he's done with Manny Pacquiao, who I was with Manny today. I mean, look what he did with me. I won 2 world titles with Freddie Roach. What he did was he brought that confidence back in me, and he just taught me. I'm more of an offensive fighter, so he taught me how to fight offensively. And I still got a lot of respect for Freddie, even though he's always talking bad about me, and he hates it that I left him. I mean, he's quite upset. You know, I left and I went to Virgil Hunter. But look, this is boxing. I mean, it's my life, and I can't be with someone that I'm not happy with. And it just come to a time where I had to leave Freddie Roach because.
Why did you leave them?
The reason I left was because I wasn't getting 100% of his time, and I was also a world champion, and I was still getting seen as second or third best, and I was like, I should be number one, as well as the other guys. Really, we should all be treated fairly, and obviously we all know Freddie Roach has got Parkinson's disease, and you can see it affecting him as time goes on, and it's very sad, obviously, with what disease he has. But I have to think about myself. And obviously, I thought the best move for me would be to move to another trainer and learn the other things and learn new things.
Okay, after a few more defences against the likes of Paul McCloskey and capturing a new world title RBF belt against Zab Judah, and a thriller against Marcos Maidana. Before I talk about Peterson fight, let's talk about Maidana while I'm on it. You nearly ended it and went for an early shower with a fantastic body shot in the first round. 2 questions. Did you think it was all over at that point? And secondly, just quite how torrid and difficult was it to hang on through that last round or 2?
Yeah. The Maidana fight, you all must have seen it. Did you all see that fight, Maidana? Yeah. So, that fight, I mean, it was a fight of one of the biggest punches in boxing, and I was just getting told that he just knocks everyone out, he's dangerous, he's this, he's that, whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah, so we did it, yeah. But the thing is, when I put him down in the first round, I put him down with a body shot, the left up to the body, right in the solar plexus, right under the rim. Perfect shot it was, yeah. When he went down, I swear to God, I've never seen anyone fall as hard on the floor. I thought he's gone. That's it. I walked to the corner and said, I've won this fight because it was just a good, clean body shot. But I must have woken up the dragon then, man. I mean, the animal came out then and he just went, when I seen him stand up, I was like, bloody hell, man, he must be on something. Because you don't see people getting up on body shots. I mean, headshots everyone can get. Everyone can take a headshot.
They say the body shots stay with you.
Yeah. That's it, man. But I tell you one thing about Maidana, when I hit with that body shot, I woke up the dragon, man. When he stood up, I seen his eyes that he wanted to fight. But this is boxing, that's what happens. But we got through the fight, and I think it was the 10th round. He caught me with a big shot.
Yeah.
When I was on the ropes, and Freddie Roach was saying to me in the training camp, do not go onto the ropes. Stay away from the ropes. Stay in the middle of the ring and go around in circles. But I think sometimes you just forget being young as well, and you want to fight, and you just don't.
I'd like to talk to you about that when you talk about being young, because what some people said one of your failings was, you've got great fighting heart, terrific movement, balance, unbelievable head speed, especially in that particular fight. But some people say Amir's greatest failing is he's too brave and too game for his own good. Have you matured a little bit? And we've seen it in recent fights where you're a bit more savvy, you don't get involved in all that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I get involved in things I'm not going to get involved in. I mean, I can just box and win a fight by just keeping away and just using my jab. And I mean, like a sparring session, I don't have to go in there and, fight or even impress the crowd. But it's just in the blood, man. I mean, I just like to get in there and put on a show. I mean, that's why maybe, I've lost fights and I've won fights, but people still want to see me fight because they're like, this guy is exciting to watch.
Never a dull moment.
I give people their money's worth, really, and I think one thing is maybe the long run is going to affect me, but at the moment I'm fine, so I can still keep it going. But I think now I'm getting older. I'm 28 now. I'm getting much more wiser. I'm thinking about what I need to do, and I'm not taking them silly shots.
I've seen that in the last 2 fights. Certainly, on a big stage.
Especially when you got Virgil in the corner. Virgil's my new trainer, as you know. And when you got him in the corner, I mean, you could be winning a fight. Like in the last fight, everything was going so well. I was winning the fight, and I was walking back to the corner thinking, Virgil's going to give me a tap on the back and say, that was a good round. He was yelling at me throughout the whole fight. I was like, what the hell, am I losing this fight? You know, he just
Psychology.
yeah, but you know, you need that sometimes. Now that's the difference between Freddie Roach and Virgil Hunter. Now Virgil shouts at you, and when someone shouts at you and tells you what to do, you obviously you pick it up and you think, whoa, I have to change stuff. But when someone's really calm in the corner, even though you're losing a round, you think I'm winning. You'll be like, oh, you know, I mean, I must be winning because he's not shouting at me. We as fighters, from day one, we've been told what to do. In a way, we're like robots. I mean, I'll walk into a gym, believe it or not, and I wonder what to do. I'll be like, oh, what do I do today? You know, because I've always been told what to do. I've always been, you know, they set like a, they set like a thing, a regime. I mean, I'm going to follow this plan, and this is what you have to do. Well, that's what, I've always been told what to do, basically. So when you go in the corner in a fight, if you're not told, if someone's just really calm and collective and says, oh, that was okay, you want a drink, have a drink, take your cup shield there, put it back in, then you go back to the fight. You're like, everything must be fine. But when you go complacent, yeah. But when you go to a Virgil Hunter's corner, he's like, fucking hell, what the fuck are you doing? Well, keep your fucking hands up. I'm like,
he's only podium first.
This is not me saying it, Virgil. Sorry.
He's in character right now.
So that's Virgil Hunter fight, man. Virgil Hunter swears at you, and you know, one thing that I remember was in the last fight was, you know, when he's talking to you, obviously you're so focused on the fight. He's talking to me, and I'm looking straight ahead, and he goes, look at me, I'm talking to you, look at me. So I looked at him thinking, he's gonna slap me with this guy. And I said, yeah, he goes, repeat what I said to you. I did not have a clue. And that's when it hit me that, whoa, look, I was so focused on the fight that I didn't listen to any instructions from him in that time. So really, that's what he's doing with me now. He's making me into, you know, changing me from a boy to a man. He's making me understand the sport more. And you need someone like that, you know, you need someone to shout at you and put you in your place.
Spencer.
I mean, you never get trainers like that in England. Really, I mean, you need trainers like that in England. I mean, Spencer might be different, yeah, Spencer.
He's a funny guy. He's on fire. Yeah. After your last win, where you was incredibly impressive against Devin Alexander, I see you do something that you've never really done before, which I've never ever seen you. I heard you publicly thank God after a fight. How important is your faith to you, especially like there was a lot of negativity that is aimed at Muslims through ignorance? How important is it that you're this role model and you're immensely proud of being British as well?
Basically, yeah, you know, I'm a Muslim, as you all know, and I respect all religions, you know, Sikh, Hindu, I mean, wherever they are English. I have nothing against any religion, and I'm just a neutral person where, you know, I thank God just like everyone does in the fight. But what some people do in fights, as you see, is they thank Al Heyman first, and then they thank God. they thank God after Al Heyman. So I mean, he was big time. He's powerful, but I mean, with me it's a little bit different. I thank God first, obviously. But yeah, you know, faith is very important to me. I really believe that, you know, with all the prayers, I have people praying for me from all over the world. I meet people, and they say, oh, we sit on the praying mat and we pray for you, and we want you to win. And I'm like, I didn't know these people were praying for me. I have so many people who pray for me and who want me to win. And you know, so when I go into a fight, I've got good vibes. You know, I mean, I'm getting good vibes of people. People want to see me successful, and I'm very fortunate. I'm very lucky to be in a position now where people pray for me. Even, and they don't have to be Muslims. You know, they can be Christians, or they can be Hindu, or they can be Sikh. They all pray for you because, in a way, they see you as one of them. You know, you represent England. I mean, and then being an Asian. I'm not only representing for the Pakistanis, but I'm representing for all the Asians. So I'm in a very unique position, yeah.
Okay. I want to give the ladies and gentlemen present tonight a chance to ask your own questions. There's easily another 100 things I could ask you if I wanted to. But let's close for the time being on this, if everybody's happy with this. We'll talk about coming off two highly impressive top flight performances in Las Vegas against Collazo and Alexander. Now, there's a big, we know what fight you want next. Well, we know there's a big tango. There you go. Now, we know there's been a lot of speculation about what Floyd is or isn't going to do next. But when was the last time he made welterweight?
Bro, we need people like you coming to the fight, man. Yeah. You know, forget these Spencers and Spencer stays quiet and hides in the... That's it, bro.
Thing is, Amir, initially people derided your desire to fight Mayweather. Initially people... Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem. Now listen.
Is he your cousin? Is that your cousin?
We all family. We all family here, bro. We all family. That's it, bro. We all family. That's the God brothers, man. But look, I need you. What you doing next year? What you doing this year, man? I might need you in my corner. Yeah. I need you in my corner, man. You know, MGM. Yeah, bro, you booking the wrong hotel. Oh, you did book it yet? You book it yet?
So moving on, let's talk about that. Okay,
what's your name? What's your name? JC. Yes, Mr. JC. Give my JC a clap. Yeah.
The thing is, Amir, a lot of people initially derided your desire to fight Mayweather before the last two performances and were saying he doesn't deserve it, he'll be outclassed, all the rest of it. I never believed that because I think I understand a certain amount of styles and assets would make the fight interesting. The interesting twist in public opinion I hear in the gyms and on forums and all the rest of it, after the Alexander fight in particular, so many people say to me, you know what, I want to see Conor Mayweather and I think Amir can win, I think he will win. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about that fight. Mayweather did like a poll, who should I fight? I remember he did it with Maidana and then he did it with me. And he was saying, look, who should I fight? And obviously I got the vote, but he went with Maidana instead. So I was very close. Yeah, I was very close to the fight then. And this was after a very bad performance. I mean, I won the fight against David Diaz.
Yeah, David Diaz wasn't the best now.
Yeah, it wasn't my best performance.
Julio Diaz.
Julio, sorry, not David, Julio. Come on, bro, what are you doing, man? These are David.
There's two of them Diaz's.
I know. Spencer, you're confusing me, bro. What's going on? So the performance I had against Diaz wasn't the best. So, and I'm still close to it. So I thought to myself, wait a minute, I need to move up from 140 to 147, have a couple of performances, not performances, but good performances. And that way it's gonna force Mayweather into a fight. So I had the one against Collazo, and we outpointed Collazo like he's never been beaten. I mean, put him down 3 times in a fight, hurt him a couple of times, and then that wasn't enough. He took the rematch against Maidana, so then I had to take another fight. And they put the fight to me, which was against Alexander. Took that fight, beat him, outclassed Alexander, and Alexander, the 3-time world champion, looked really good against him. I thought, you know what, I've done it now. I've proven my position in the 147-pound division, beating one of the top 10 guys, and I think the Mayweather fight's going to happen next. But it's, my team's been speaking to them, and they've been not getting no response from Mayweather or anything.
Okay. Are we ready to throw this one out to the ladies and gentlemen?
Absolutely. Can I just pop this in front of you for a minute, in case you swear again? That's a swear box.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I thought it was my drink.
It wasn't me. It was
Actually,
Virgil Hunter's. Oh, it's called court. That was a court.
Okay. If we could get some glass of water for a gentleman, it'd be fantastic.
No, it's all right. I don't drink water at this time of night.
Okay.
My beer up here, somebody.
You want as far as his beer?
Is that okay with you, by the way, Jim?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's okay because he didn't pay for it.
Yeah. I didn't either.
So, gents, if there is anybody out there who'd like to ask a question, I'll wander to them if that's okay with you.
You had this one up, Vince.
I have a question for you, Alan. Nice to see you again. It's the first time I've seen you with my son. But you have all the fame and the fortune, and you got the whole lifestyle and everything. But I wanted to ask you a question on a more serious note. If I asked you what are the top 3 things that you value in your life right now, what would they be?
The top 3 things I value, my parents, my mum and dad, they're very close to me. My little girl, Maisa, my wife, and obviously the sport boxing. I value those things because my parents have bought me and my dad was supporting me. I love my mum to bits. My dad supported me, took me to the boxing gym, and that's a message for all you people here, to support your children. It's not only about your kid working hard, but the father has to also support the kids, take them to the gym, motivate them, buy the equipment. Because obviously me as a kid when I was 8 years old, I didn't know what the gym was. You know, if I was a normal kid, I would just gone on the street and played out there instead. But my dad supported me, so that's one thing for parents here: support your children. Then I've got my little girl, Lamaisa. She's 7 months old now. She's a motivation. You know, when you're your own little girl, everything I do in boxing is for her. I want her to have a comfortable life, not a spoiled life where I'm going to spoil my kids, which I don't want to do. I want her to have a comfortable life. You know, mixing with normal kids in school. You know, be normal in school, do normal things. You know, not being Amir Khan's daughter. So I want her to be just a normal girl, and I don't want to spoil her. I just want to have a good, comfortable life. And obviously the boxing I have to respect. You know, it's massive for me because it's boxing that's made me. Boxing has got me here. And without boxing, I don't think we'd be sat here talking. Yeah, thank you.
Just a bit of good news for you. The first 30 years of your children are the hardest.
Yeah.
Gets easier.
30 years.
Yeah, 30 years. Gets cheaper after that. It's over the back here, ladies and gents.
Can I ask quickly? Are you going to get your daughter into boxing?
I would never let my kids. You know what? This is a good question because everyone asks me, "Would you let your kids box?" I would never let my daughter box ever. I mean, she's my little princess. She'll never box. You know, I'll never let her fight. I never could see her take a punch or be a boxer. So that's, you know, even my son. I would never let my son box. I mean, the reason why I know how hard boxing is. Boxing is a very tough sport, man. I mean, you know, waking up 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, you must know how it is. Waking up 6 o'clock in the morning, sacrifices, being away from your family, your mum, your dad. Now, I don't think I can spend that much time away from, you know, my kids. You know, I don't want my kids to spend that much time away from me, especially I'm going to be old, man. I need them next to me. You know, by the time they grow.
Do you know what's interesting? I often find that fighters who've been to the mountaintop and become world champions and been mainstream successful don't want their kids anywhere near boxing in a competitive sense. Whereas fighters who nearly made it seem to have this burning desire that their kids are going to continue that legacy. It's a funny thing.
It is funny, yeah, but you're not going to see a young Amir Khan fighting. Yeah.
What if they wanted to though?
If they wanted to, then obviously look at the father. I have to support them. Then yeah, if they wanted to, I'm gonna try to hide all the boxing videos and everything away from, you know, when they grow up. Hide everything, all the boxing gloves, put them in the shed. And if they, we'll talk about it after.
It's a Q&A session, mate. You haven't got your own talk show.
we did use that here, man. We did. It's the same. We did use that here. No, yeah.
I've got a question over here.
Amir, how you doing?
Alright, thank you.
Obviously, the world of boxing at the moment want to see Pacquiao Mayweather.
Yeah.
Personally, myself, if you were to fight Mayweather, I would think you'd give him many, many problems.
Yeah.
I agree.
Now, there's so much is going on, there's contract negotiations, Al Haymon's moved to Premier Boxing, new TV channels, so much going on in America. Rumours in the media today are saying that Mayweather's in Australia at the moment, Pacquiao's in London, they're trying to self-promote them without the contract being actually finalised and out. They're talking about the Super Bowl and about announcing the actual fight in the Super Bowl. Do you think, honestly, that fight happens? And if it doesn't happen, we know Mayweather's going to duck you. There's no doubt about that.
I mean,
I think, but
you have to respect Mayweather.
absolutely, I think he's an absolute genius.
Yeah.
He's, in my time, the best ever I've seen.
How long have you been around for?
27 years. 27 years.
All of you late, mate. All of you late.
So just let's finish the questions.
Yeah.
Do you think that fight happens? And two, if it doesn't happen, I know you met Manny today. Would Freddie Roach let Manny fight you? Noting that Freddie Roach said a few weeks ago, we don't want to fight Amir because all he will do is run around.
Yeah. I mean, is that what he said? We're talking about if Manny Pacquiao fought against Floyd Mayweather. Now, I think, look, being friends with both, not being friends with Manny more, but seeing how Floyd fights, I think Floyd Mayweather wins that fight. Manny's a little bit too open, but then styles make fights. Now, if you look at it this way, where you see who would be a harder fight for me, Manny Pacquiao or Mayweather? I think Pacquiao would be harder fight for me because it's more physical. Yeah, but Mayweather's runner, he'll weigh single punches and he doesn't really like to get involved. So we'll be like him a chess against him. But the Manny Pacquiao will be like, it'll be like a cockfight, you know what I mean?
Who would you spar with getting ready for Floyd Mayweather?
I mean, I don't know, man. What's your name, Mr. Singh? That's it, Singh, we're gonna spar with him. Seriously.
I'm just going to take a small detour around here. Just, there's a fellow at the back here, I actually know this gentleman, he is an amateur boxer. On the last show that we did, he actually won 2 belts, amateur belts. He not only boxes, he's got about 300 children. Between fights, that's all he does. So, Danny, I know, so I'll get that in.
What it is, I've had 45 fights and I've won 38, but I'm 29. Is it too late to go pro and take that route?
How old are you, 29?
29.
No, I think you're perfect, man. I mean, look.
In 2 minds whether to go over in June. What to do.
To get to that world class, to world title level, it'll take you what, 3.5, 4 years. So you still be young. I mean,
just
look at Floyd Mayweather, he's 38. Floyd Mayweather's 38. 38, bro, what's up here?
He's 38 in February.
He's 29 now. He's 29 now.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I think yeah, you can still do it, man. I mean, look, that's one thing you're giving up. That's one thing about a lot of young fighters is to give up before they even do it. I mean, go try it out. What's stopping you? Nothing's stopping you. I bet you. I'm not saying anything about you, mate.
To be fair, he'd have to win 2 belts to get round him.
Sorry, what's your name again? Danny. Yeah, Danny, don't give up, man. Keep training hard and give it a try. I mean,
we got managers license if we want to talk.
Yeah. Give it a go. I mean, you got a good record, very good record for 45 fights.
He's a really game fighter and he trains so hard all the time. Honestly, he's such a nice lad as well. We'd love to see it happen for him. I've got a question for the young man down the front here. Trying to stand up, come on. Give this man a round of applause. Back in training.
Yes. I mean,
but first of all, tell them what you won. Tell them the titles you've got and you won.
Oh yeah, I've got the International Master. I've got the Prize Fighter. I'm only the boxer in the world to beat 2 former world champions. That's
one night.
I've got a question for you, Amir. Floyd Mayweather, he said he want to fight you. He said before you fought against Devin Alexander, he said he would sold out the arenas. He was agreed with it. But when you fought against Devin Alexander, he said you can't sell tickets.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
It's crazy. Whenever we fight in the UK, we sell it. I mean, he just wants any excuse not to get the fight. Basically, I mean, he said first before the fight, he was saying, yeah, Amir is a great champion. I want to fight the best fighters in the world. And then after that fight against Alexander, I think I got him scared, man. I mean, because I think I did better than anyone expected. So you know when you just do too good, and he's probably thinking, you know what? To be honest with you, I don't need that. So it's a good performance. I mean, it was a very good performance against a top class fighter. What do you think, Mr. Singh?
On Facebook,
Yeah.
I was commentating.
Well, yeah.
On WhatsApp,
We find that very surprising, sir.
You seem such a quiet club usually.
Sir, I'm really hoping that your pockets are as big as your gob, because we've got a whole load of stuff here that we want to sell tonight. So let's hope he's got a few quid in his pocket.
Well, if Bailey's got loads of, he's loaded. Trust me, that's not weight on him. That is a belly pouch, and it's full of money. He's loaded. I'm around. He's got a gym.
He must have
You mentioned
fortunes.
Kell Brook, by the way. Can I just quickly ask you, do you think Kell Brook deserved that decision against Sean Porter? Do you think Kell Brook deserved the decision against Sean Porter?
It was close, you know, it was a close fight. I was commentating the fight. I was in the backstage on the set. There was me, there was Glenn McClory, there was a couple of us, and we were, Ed Robinson as well, yeah, and you were there, weren't you? You were there that day.
He'll show you the photograph.
So what happened was, we watched the fight, all of us said, it was a close fight. I think maybe he just lost it by 1 round. It was a close fight because normally, you know, if you fight a world champion and you fight him in America, you have to knock him out to get a draw. I mean, it's hard to win a world title of an American. So in America as well, yeah. So it was a close fight. But like I said, I think it would have gone the opposite way. But look, they give it to Kell, which you know is good for Great Britain because we've got another world champion, Kell Brooks, so that's good. And also it makes the fight between me and him even bigger now.
Absolutely. That's why I thought they did it.
Oh, maybe. I mean, they won the biggest fight. Said I think that fight will definitely generate a lot of money, and it's a big fight that the public would want to see. So, Kell Brook is fighting Joe, whatever it's called, some guy. Joe. Have you heard of him? Any good?
The guy who Kell Brook's fighting next. Yeah. Now I won't even say Jojo Dan. He's lost twice. One was on split decision, one was a very close decision against. His ranking on BoxRec. In BoxRec, it's not very high.
30 something.
Yeah, it's not very high. But that's the fight that they've got. There was talk that Kell Brook was going to fight Andre Berto, but the fight didn't happen. And Sky TV. I don't know why I'm mentioning that, but Sky TV really do want Amir Khan and Kell Brook, but I do believe that Kell Brook now isn't top tier like what Amir Khan is, because Amir Khan's proved himself time and time again in America.
You know, another thing about, you know, these world titles, I mean, it's great to win a world title. Honestly, it's an amazing feeling when you win one. But you know, after you win one, I mean, they just belts at the end of it. I mean, they don't.
Because they've been a bit devalued. You want big fights, truly legacy fights, and big money fights.
You want the big names. So, like, I could be fighting someone like Marquez, and that might not be for a world title, but that would be a mega fight.
I think it speaks volumes about the state of the game today when you regard, quite legitimately in my opinion, fighting Kell Brook for a belt as a step backwards from where you're at now.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I still think it's a big fight. I mean, look, it will be I mean, you're right. What you're saying there, but
I make you right when you say you don't want to do it because it's not as exciting to you.
At the moment, it's not exciting to me because look, I've got the likes of maybe a rematch with Madonna.
Yeah.
You got Marquez, you got Bradley, you've got the rematch with Garcia as well. We're looking at. Then you've got Pacquiao, you've got Mayweather. And that's the mix of names I'm getting mixed with. You know, so I'm in a good position at the moment. So Kell Brook is still going to be there regardless. Next year after, and he's not like he's going to retire anytime soon. Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao are going to retire within the next 2 fights. So I want to catch them before they retire. So, and I want to give the UK crowd and the UK public and the boxing fans a big fight, and that's a huge fight. I mean, no matter, I bet you all watch them fight when they fight. We all watch them. So how good will it be if you fight one of your own fighters? You know, it'll be even bigger.
I would rather see it than play with Pacquiao fight personally, and I'm not just saying it because you said there.
No, definitely. I mean, look, I'm a boxing fan as well as a fighter myself. I would love to see the Mayweather Pacquiao fight, but listen, that fight will never happen. It's a shame. And who wins that fight? I think Mayweather will take it because Mayweather's a lot sneakier. You know, he's more slick where he will hit, move, not get hit. So Mayweather, I really believe, will win that fight. It'll be a close fight. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I mean, you know what? Yeah, speed and
judo.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe that's why he's not taking the fights. Now, Mayweather is very smart. Mayweather is very smart. He's at a level now where he, picks who he wants to fight. He picks and chooses. Like, I'll fight him. It's funny.
It will be against Cotto, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Well, you're not too much, you. Yeah. You should be sat up here.
He needs to get himself a job. He's stuck in front of the TV.
Are you with this guy? This kid knows a lot, but it's not sitting. I'm saying, listen, Spencer, you've been very quiet today. Sit down there. Can't you get over here?
Ladies and gents, we are going to have to bring this slightly to a close because we've got 1 or 2 other things that we need to do this evening. I do think you should put your hands together. He's got a question. Can we just take one more question? Send him forward, come on. Little fella, give me a little round of applause here, guys. Come on in. What's your name, sir? Sorry? Abu. This is Abu, ladies and gents. I think you should go up on the stairs and you should ask him. There you go.
I just wanted to ask you, when are you going to retire?
Forget about my boxing career. When are you going to retire? Listen, it's a good question. It's a very good question. Because I always said to myself, I'm going to retire when I was 28. I'm 28 now, so...
Good night.
I think 30. But look, but to be honest with you, I feel better now at 28 than I was when I was 25. It's crazy how your body works, man. I mean, I train hard, I eat better now, and because I know I'm getting older, I'm always like not cheating myself in ways where, you know, before I had a lot of energy left in me, I could have done a lot of things and kept fit and still not trained, but still maybe not took things seriously, like the diet side of it or whatever. But
I remember in the Olympics when you were 17, a long time ago,
yeah.
and they asked you about the special diet the nutritionist gave you, and you said, I didn't even look at it, man.
I didn't
you
look
said,
at it,
come on, man,
I was
your salad.
I swear, you know what used to happen then is, you walk and you lose weight, yeah? But I was like, oh my days, that was like murder. I'm not going to show that picture to anyone. I'm going to throw that camera away. Yeah. So I was saying, what happens is, honestly, I never used to put weight on, but now, you know, at this age, you look at food you put weight on.
I know what you mean.
I can tell you, but so this is what it's like. But like I said, I'm gonna retire probably, and look, when I'm 30, I'll see where I am, what I'm like. I want to walk out the sport, the boxing, the way I walked in. That's one mistake most fighters make. They stay in the game too long and they take too many punches and they get hurt. And I want to be one of them guys. I want to walk out the same way.
Ladies and gents, I'm sure you agree, not only is it very informative, it's great fun this evening. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Ben Doherty, Spencer Fearing, of course, Elliot Khan.